wishing on dreams instead of problem. Genie, come through, I need you about that bottle. Facing highs, ducking lows, on my toes, never on my pivot. I know I'm tripping, the way I'm living is something missing, but I can't get it. I've been wishing on dreams instead of problem. Genie, come through, I need you about that bottle, that bottle. Nigga, ain't nothing changed but the range. Nowadays, used to cope, I need to...
Yo, what's up? This your boy Rudy Winslow with another episode of 30 Black and Nerdy. And today for our topic, I want to talk about rites to passages as a man. What do we consider a rite to passage? Like, is it our first fight that we win? Is it our first fight that we lose? Is it our first time talking to a girl? Our first time being intimate with said girl? What do we consider our rite to passage? And is it healthy to even have a rite to passage? I believe that a rite to passage to be a man isn't necessarily something that's set in stone. It could change from individual to individual. Like, I do believe there is a rite to passage. There's a point in a young man's life where he goes like, I have to be accountable. I have to be a man. I have to navigate through society differently. You know, almost like when a boy turned into a man. It's that moment when you realize that, wait, I have to be something other than what I was. And it's scary, I think. Self-disclosure, my probably rite to passage was when I not necessarily went off to school. Like, when I went off to school, it wasn't scary or nothing. It was just like me going off to school. But my rite to passage probably was when I had my first daughter. And that put it into perspective, like, somebody else depend on you. Somebody else looks to you to be provider, protector, to be the constant. Somebody's looking towards you to be that consistent, constant male figure in their life that they expect to see day in and day out. Consistently. So I think that's when it kind of like happened for me. Now, you don't automatically just become a man when it happened. That's almost like the awakening. That's the awakening. And then you gradually learn from trial and error, what works best for your situation. But definitely when I had my first child, it was eye-opening, because I knew that I couldn't just focus on me. I couldn't just worry about Rudy. I couldn't just worry about what I was going to eat that night. I couldn't just worry about my dreams, my goals. I had to make sure that she was set up for her dreams and her goals in the future. So I believe a rite to passage can be having your first child, or being aware that, because people can have a kid and they don't care. People with like 13 kids out there and they're like, I'm good. They'll be all right. Life's such as life. But I think the thing is that being cognizant and aware, and I always use that word cognizant, maybe because it's fun to say, but being cognizant and aware that life is in stages, and that one particular stage of your life is over. Not saying that you can't reference that stage of life, because I don't think anybody should fully grow up. I always think you should have that childlike, somewhat of a childlike mentality of wonder and excitement and creation, just so you can live a life and not just just not be alive, but you actually live your life because children know how to live their life. But I digress. That everything's in stages, and then coming to that that transition to manhood is it's just a new stage of life, and some people get to it earlier than others. And I think the most important thing from me, from my perspective, is that knowing knowing that people depend on you, knowing that people depend on you. Now it could be multiple. It could be multiple rites to passage. Another one was confrontation. You know, another rites to passage for a lot of men is, can you be able to confront another man and not feel inadequate? There probably will be some inadequacies in like your thought process, but can you set those inadequacies to the side and stand up for what's right, or stand up for what you believe in to another man? You know, a lot of black men was raised around women, so a lot of black men was raised around women, raised with women, strong black women. So voicing our opinions and conversing with black women and women comes, I feel, a lot easier. This is my perspective. Comes a lot easier. But when you have that first encounter with a grown man, another man, can you hold it? Can you express yourself appropriately and not going from 0 to 100? Can you go to 50 and articulate yourself to another man without raising a detrimental conflict? You know, conflict is not always bad. Conflict is good. And a lot of times when something's conflicting with it, that means there's a potential for growth. So that's another, I feel like, a rite of passage for a man. Having kids, being able to stand up to yourself with other men, being confident in yourself and what you think, what you believe that you should be for your family and for yourself. I know I pause a lot, but I was just trying to get my Barack Obama on, trying to make sure my words are very clear. But yeah, like, there's many rites of passages. And I feel like, and it's okay, another thing, it's okay to feel, but you have to be logical about those feelings. And I think that's one thing that trip men up, is that we're so we're so logical in the beginning stages that once we get to the feelings, we just disregard feelings as a whole, and we don't know how to maneuver through feelings. We don't know how to maneuver through feelings and what feelings mean to us. You know, we can feel, like I said, we can feel inadequate, we can feel insecure, we can feel sad, you know, even happy. Some people don't even like smiling. Like, my guy, it's okay, smile. It's funny. Like, people be sucking in their smiles and they laugh. They're like, my G, it's okay. You gotta be too tough to smile. Ice Cube even smiled, you know, every now and again, I'm sure. Like, it's okay. But we get so caught up in this, I don't even like calling like masculinity toxic, 'cause I love masculinity. But I feel like there are some, there could be extremes where it could definitely be toxic. But I feel as though we have to, well, I believe as though we have to create those spaces for men to be able to, and this is one of those spaces, you know, 30 Black and Nerdy, like, it is one of those spaces for men to be able to talk about those emotions, vent those emotions, and I feel judged for them. Like, bro, like it's okay, you good. Take 10 minutes, do whatever you need to do, cry, scream, punch, all that, and let's get back to it. You know, and I think that's important. I think that's very important. It was something I heard Malcolm Jamal Warner say. I think that's his name. The dude from the Cosby Show. I'm pretty sure that's his name. But he was just saying, like, for young boys, you don't want to beat a young boy. You know, necessarily. Like, you don't want to beat a young boy. Like, give him whoopings and things like that. You want to love the young boy so immensely that it'll kill him to let you down. So just love on them babies, man. Love on them babies. I know I kind of got off track because this is about rites of passage, but I feel like a lot of our rites of passages were a lot of our rites to passages as black men, were dictated from the amount of love and experiences we had in our emotions and experiences that we had in our childhood. And I feel like if someone didn't get maybe that love and that affection, that healthy love and affection, I feel like if someone didn't get that healthy love and affection, they might go about rites to passages completely different. They might view that completely different and might consider like rites to passages is they might view the rite to passages as something that might not be beneficial for them. And you know, it is what it is. You know, such is life, right? What can we do now as adults but to grow, to look back and see what worked and what didn't work and try to correct our mistakes and try to love on them babies, love on our kids so their rite to passages would change. A while ago, like back in the day, like hundreds and hundreds of years ago, probably not even 100 years ago, probably like 20 years ago, a lot of people rite to passages, male rite to passages is to kill another man. It's to kill another man. So yeah, like let that sink in. So a rite to passage it's changed throughout the years and how we're developing and getting more wise and getting wiser and getting more modern. You know, things have changed. So that's the question for everybody who listens to this episode of the podcast. How do you feel about men having a rite to passage, or should they have a rite to passage? Is that something that we should even think about or care about? Is that something that's just inevitable, or is it just gonna happen anyway? Let me know what y'all think. It's your boy Rudy Renslow. Thanks for watching 30 Black and Nerdy. Peace. I'm out.
I've been wishing on dreams instead of problems. Genie, come through. I need you about that bottle. Facing highs, ducking lows, on my toes, never on my pivot. I know I'm tripping, the way I'm living is something missing, but I can't get it. I've been wishing on dreams instead of problems. Genie, come through. I need you about that bottle, that bottle. Nigga, ain't nothing changed but the range. Nowadays, just to cope, I need a